My name is Wisdom Izuchi Jewel. I'm a gender-based activist, actually, and I believe that a woman needs her right to live just like every other person. We shouldn't see a woman as being less of, the man, which is the problem we're seeing. Patriarchy system is still in Nigeria. It's still ongoing. It's still going on. So I believe through these 16 days of activism, a lot needs to be corrected. We need to unlearn and relearn the right way to live, and make sure everyone is being carried along like a normal human being. A woman is not less of a man and shouldn't be treated, as such. So I believe the government needs to do a lot in abolishing some of these laws, because some of these things are, if you trust it, is coming from our origin. Some will tell you this is our culture, this is the way we behave here, this is this, this is that. So all this traditional and cultural mindset needs to be deleted from the mind of the people. Let people know that we need to unlearn and relearn, the right way to live and handle our fellow human beings. Gender-based violence it can happen to any gender. I have someone that was killed by the wife because the man was the tender type, very much tender, and the woman was more like the lion in the house and ended up killing the man. So you can see that it happens on both sides. So but although women are more vulnerable anyway, because they are the ones at the receiving end. So
okay, I just want to ask a question while you are going on. Somebody raised something. He talked about, I don't know if it was you. The person said some of this violence instilled, at the early formative years of a child by the parents who normally hit them, using this way to teach them, that when you are hurt, you cry. As you understand, if somebody hits you, you have to hit back and all those things. The only way to teach. So, are you in support of that school of thought?
Okay, I think parents need to, like the question that came up there, parents need to learn how to bring up a child. A child is like a computer. What is garbage in, garbage out. What you give to a child from the house is what the child grows up with and unleashes outside. So if you train up a child, the Bible says train up a child where he should go. So from the scratch, if you train up the child to be good to everyone, nice to everyone, don't hurt anyone, the child will grow up with that mindset. But if you train up the child, look, if anybody hits you, just hit. In fact, if they hit you one, hit twice. The person grows up that way. But by the time that child becomes violent. Anyway, you see the child is a bully, is fighting, and if you watch it when children are growing up from crèche and all, yes, formative age, you discover that some who are also violent, you see it in their life. You see it when they're relating with their peers. You see them fighting. I will beat you, I will kill you, because of where they are coming from. So if parents should also, I think this whole thing is coming from the family. How you were brought up is how you also relate with others outside. So this should be taken into consideration as well. So we don't raise children from the scratch and they have this mindset of being violent, and that will help our nation.
Be a law in place, to control such.
Yeah, especially, you talked earlier about erasing patriarchal system in the society. So would you say that the current existing laws are they viable enough to address this challenge? And do you think that there could be more actionable projects or policies that can really help policymakers, implementers, to make this actually deliver on making this work?
Yes, I think the laws, the existing laws, the patriarchy system and all the rest of them, there are too many of them, the early marriage, forced marriage and all of that, they have not helped us so far. I think policymakers needs to come in and try to, carry out laws can also be reviewed upwards or downwards. So they should look into it and check the things that are not there and try to implement and add up to what needs to be there, to make sure what we just need is to have a sustainable environment where everyone is free and has, your right, your right and know what you need per time. So that will help us to some extent. Policymakers, why we're mentioning policymakers, because they are there and they take decisions and try to enforce it. So they are the people in the right position to enforce, enact laws and also enforce it. So I believe if they decide, to come up with like what he was telling me, child right arts. Okay, fine. So like we have VAP and all of that. So if they come up with that, that will help us. That will help us a long way. Nigeria needs to, I mean, a lot needs to be done in Nigeria. When you travel out and discover what is happening there and what is happening in Nigeria, you discover that Nigeria, I mean, is so hot, is so violent, and everybody wants to beat and kill each other. So that will not help us. It has not helped us. And so going forward, we need, to readjust, unlearn the negative ones, and learn the positive way of living.
Thank you very much.